Hello everyone, my name is Kiran and I am R&D Director Aquaculture at Aker Krill company. Today I'm pleased to share with you our recent study, which is a field trial that highlights the benefits of including krill meal in the Atlantic salmon smolts for their better growth and better survival at the seawater transfer phase. This field trial was conducted by Skretting under their R&D licenses issued by the Norwegian Directorate of Fisheries. So the question is, why to conduct a field trial at this seawater transfer phase? Well, we all know that seawater is really challenging for salmon smolts. Why? Because it leads to a lot of stress because of their change in the environment that leads to osmoregulation stress. Fish is not eating, so that leads to reduced growth and welfare of the fish. It is also associated with high mortalities that leads to huge economical losses to the industry. So it makes sense to include good quality functional ingredients such as krill meal at this critical phase that could help the fish to cope better this stress and can enhance the health and robustness of the fish. So with this thought in mind, this field trial was conducted at the Harstad municipality, so a commercial salmon farm facility that is operated by SalMar Farming. In this trial, 10 net pens were included. So 5 net pens that were designated as control. The fish were eating the control or a commercial control diet, the Supreme Plus by Skretting. And the rest of the 5 net pens, they were fed with a test diet that included 10% of krill meal. There were approximately 200,000 fish in each net pen, indicating that there were 1 million fish in each group for the control and for the test diet with 10% krill meal. The feeding was performed by automatic feeders, and the daily feeding was registered in the fish stock, and the growth models were then used using this database fish stock to estimate the growth. So based on the results after 116 days of this feeding, we found that there was better growth by including 10% krill meal diet. As you see here in this graph, so the circles and the squares, they represent the individual net pens. So 5 for the control and 5 for the 10% krill meal group. So as it is clear from this graph that there was better growth in the 10% krill meal group with a higher weight gain. Similarly, we also found a 22% reduction in the mortality in the group of the fish that were fed with 10% krill meal diet. So better growth and better survival with the 10% krill meal group. So we know that krill meal is a functional ingredient, so then it's the cost-benefit perspective that we have to take into account. For that, we looked into the return of investment from these trial results using the simulations from the Vitaya app. So looking at the forecasted growth and the forecasted biomass, as you see here in these graphs, we found a better profit in the group of the fish that were fed with the 10% krill meal group. So adding a bit of extra cost on the feed with 10% krill meal leads to better benefit in terms of the profit as well, as you see here with these simulations. So to summarize this trial, well, this was the first published report where we included or saw the benefits of including krill meal in the Atlantic salmon smolts after their seawater transfer. And in this trial, we saw 3% higher feed intake, we saw 4% better growth, and 22% reduced mortality in the smolts that were fed with 10% krill meal in comparison to the conventional commercial diet fed smolts. So if you are interested in knowing more about the study, please click on the link and you will get a PDF, full text PDF of this published study. Thank you so much for your attention.